The following podcast is a part of RadioMisfits.com.
Here we are in the oh my God! No way! Ed fixed it. I always complain. Let's bring Kelly in here. Hey, everybody, welcome into Pugs and Kelly present Practical Pics. She's Kelly, and I am Pugs. Ed, who runs the RadioMisfits.com empire, he snuck in and fixed the opening. You know, I always complain about that opening video.
Yep.
I was all ready to just wait it out, so I was getting comfortable because there's always like 10 seconds of dead air, and then he fixed it. He's the best.
Is he back from Canada?
I didn't know he was in Canada. I really need to pay closer attention to him. I just feel, I don't know. I could follow him more. Hey, who's the dog?
Doug. He's a Velcro dog. Look, the dog cannot stay away from me, and he's whining, and there's no reason why.
That dog seems to have some cat in him.
Oh, he's crazy.
That's kind of weird. All right, welcome into Practical Pics. I'm Pug. She's Kelly. She makes these picks every week. She's been doing it for decades now. Kelly, tell people how you choose the slate of football games that's a little different than most.
Well, instead of picking the teams based on how well they play together and the individual talents of would it be members of the team?
You just, instead of knowing anything, you just pick the mascots, right?
But which one seems tougher? And if they were to get into a fight, which one would win?
Yeah, and you've been doing this for years, and it's been wildly successful. She always seems to win. She picks from time to time against notables from the world of the NFL, coaches and players and broadcasters, and then she's always winning. So let's figure out how do you think you did last week?
I don't even know. I think I picked the Chiefs, and didn't they lose?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, you picked a couple of games that were just dogs. But hey, whatever. You had your first winning week in 3 weeks.
Yay!
Yeah, you went 8-7. So you went 8-7. Your total for the season is 93 victories, 85 defeats. You're still winning money.
It's too close.
It is. But that was good. That was good. An 8-7 week, you just really you seem to do much better in all the games before 3 p.m. Sunday. Any game that occurs after 3 p.m. Sunday is when you just really hit the skids, because it seems like every week in the early games, heading into those 3 o'clock games, I'm like, she is crushing it, and then the wheels come off.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know. I'm actually a more of a night person. I'm surprised I don't do better after 3.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. All right, let's get started with this week's slate of games. We always begin with the Thursday night football matchup. Thursday night football tomorrow night, or not tomorrow night. We record this on Wednesday, so I guess it will be tomorrow. But it doesn't matter to you, the fair listener. Chargers at Raiders. The Los Angeles Chargers against where are they now? Las Vegas. That's right.
Or Vegas. I'm not betting on the Raiders. No, I think I always have trouble with the electric bolt because I'm not sure. They seem like they kill things, but then sometimes they don't. People can survive that. Some people have. Some people haven't. Some people have. I think that the Raider will have a harder time getting away from a lightning bolt because don't they have a lot of steel around them?
Right. What is a raider? Well, I don't know if they have steel, but a raider is like a pirate, but a seemingly armored pirate. He seems to have some kind of, so.
Seems like they would have a shield.
Right. Raiders are pirates who seem to wear leather and steel, and Buccaneers are pirates who seem to wear blouses and velvet. They're both pirates, but.
Buccaneers win the fashion.
Yeah.
But maybe Raiders for function. However, the lightning bolt, and doesn't have to go that far because Las Vegas isn't that far. I see housewives go from California to Vegas all the time. So I don't think it's going to lose its charge. So,
it's going to hit the guy. It's going to be like, what do they call that? A conductor? No, that's on a train. What are they? Whatever. The metal's not going to be good. Moving on. Next game, Saturday. We've got a full slate of Saturday games, and by that I mean there's a noon game, a 3 o'clock game, and a 7 o'clock game this weekend. Saturday games Vikings, Bengals kick us off at noon.
Okay. Vikings are going to the Bengals, which is not in Bangladesh, even though that's where the Bengals are from. We learned that due to your research a couple of weeks ago. They're in Cincinnati, so it's a little bit of a trek.
Okay.
And I think Vikings, again, they always seem tough to me, but I don't know if they seem tough to everybody else because they're in the Bears division. And I always hated playing against them. Watching the Bears play against them. So,
All right,
but
this is a Tiger and a Viking now. A Viking, I guess a Viking could get, you think about it. I'll piece this together for myself. A Viking,
mhm,
we're talking about a river town. So Cincinnati's got river town. They can get there by water. They're going to come down in their boats. And then
they have weapons.
they got weapons. Yeah. They steal exotic animals. Well, I don't know if Vikings do that. I know pirates did.
Mhm.
Whatever. This is a pick 'em. Who you like, Vikings or the Bengals in Cincinnati?
I will have to go with the Vikings because they have weapons. The unfortunate part is they have to get closer to the tiger to use them because they not like a gun. So
Ti-
that's rough.
Tigers have really reflexes like
Like a cat.
like a cat. There you go. There you go. They're very fast, like a cat.
Yeah.
I guess, is what I was looking for. All right, the 3:30 game on Saturday. The Pittsburgh Union Steelworkers, the
Mhm.
Pittsburgh Steelers, taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Baby, vulnerable horses.
Yeah. They're still having a problem with this Colt thing. I'm going to have to look into stories about Colts beating people and who they can fight and match up against. I'm
You
pretty
know
sure.
who a Colt. Here's who a Colt would match up well against. A toddler. If there was a toddler who wandered into a corral where a baby horse was, that baby horse might severely injure the toddler.
Mhm.
But
That
that's a
could be. My mother-in-law once got her stomped on her head by a horse. That didn't go well. She didn't die.
that was a horse.
Yeah, it was a horse, but I don't know. It might have been a smaller horse. It could have been a
But this is a baby who can't even stand yet. Have you ever
really?
seen a horse
Yeah,
try and
that's not a
stand?
baby.
A colt. Well, okay. I guess at some point a colt can't stand. So you got to factor that in.
Ugh, wow.
Did you ever see a baby horse did I ever tell you about the time I saw a baby horse being born?
No.
Yeah, I got that in my old life experience. I was
Where
delivering
were you?
pizzas when I was in college. And we delivered out to this like horse ranch and they had a whole bunch of pizzas and I'm bringing them in and the guy goes, "Hey, you want to see something?" And I was like, because I could tell something was going on. And it was a horse ranch. I knew it wasn't, well, I guess it could have been weird, but
Yeah. As long as there was no conversion van.
and I go, "Sure." He's like, "We've got a mare giving birth." And I go, "Okay." And I went in there and it was like a horse hanging half out of another horse. And I was like, "That is gross." And I
Oh, I
left.
know. And they're covered in stuff, and then the moms lick it off. Oh.
And here's the other thing. I don't know how they were supposed to eat pizza. There was a smell. There was like a cross between feet and fart. I don't know
Ooh,
what it was.
probably
It was
both.
coming out of that mama horse. They say it's miraculous. I thought it
Mhm.
was pretty gross. All right, who do you like?
Both of them the
Steelers,
same. We gotta go with them with the Steelers. If
Steelers.
the Colts especially can't walk, if it's that much of a baby.
Well, at some point they can't. At some point they stand and then they're in the run. But I don't know at what point they stop being Colts.
Yeah, I don't know either. Because babies stop being babies generally at 1. Because then you
Okay.
start counting them in months.
Okay, then these are 1-year-old horses. These are still baby horses because they're going out of like this would be like if it was a human team, like if there was a team called the teenagers and they were playing a team called the infants.
Mhm.
These would be the infants of the horse world
Yeah.
because
So
the Broncos are the adults.
the Steelers are tough workers,
Yeah.
and I think that they can play tough, so I'll go with the Steelers.
I think a human could kill a baby horse if it
Yeah.
needed to. It could. It could figure out a way. All right, next game, Cal. Here we go. Broncos at Lions. This is a little different kind of horse.
Yeah. It's a bucking Bronco horse.
Yeah.
What does Alexa think?
Oh, this one. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Maybe does she have an answer? Okay. Let's see. Let's ask Lady Google. Mhm. Who would win between a wild Bronco horse and a lion?
Thinking. Thank you.
Gosh, she shouldn't have this one loaded up. This
Yeah.
is such a weird answer. Here's what it says. Quora asked a question. This was between a Clydesdale and a lion. Who would win?
Well,
Given the size of the Clydesdale, it would fight a lion using both the front and hind legs. It would be easier for it to hit the lion. One clear shot from the Clydesdale would render the. This is trying to say that a Clydesdale could beat a lion in a fight. Again, what is with the lion hate we have seen on this show?
wow. I've always thought they were the masters. They're the king of the jungle. They're
King
like
of the jungle.
hanging out at the highest rock. Now they've
Google,
been going to battle with these teams and losing.
Google tells us bears can beat lions. Google
Yep.
tells us panthers can beat lions. Now Google's
Mhm.
telling me a Clydesdale horse could beat a lion.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. All right, who do you like here? It's
Then I need
Broncos.
to go with the Broncos.
Yeah. All right, going based on Google again. That's how this works. That's
I
fine.
don't know if Lions are any good this year, so I don't have any football knowledge. That's what happens when nobody here watches football anymore.
Well, here's the thing. I do. The Lions are. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I just got something.
Where did that come from? Oh, okay. I didn't know if it came from
phone.
my. Oh, it's from your phone.
Oh.
The Lions are good this year. The Lions are one of the better teams in the NFC. They have been having a couple of rough weeks. They lost to the Bears last week, but it wasn't because they played bad. It was because the Bears played good. It was actually a good game. Lions are good. Broncos are also weirdly good. I think this is a fine pick. All right, should we move on? Let's move on. Let's go to the next one.
Mhm.
Falcons at Panthers. Cat versus bird alert. Cat versus bird. Cartoon rules apply. Kelly, go.
Falcons I always consider them tough birds. Don't know much about their fighting skill. I mostly see them landing on people's arms in a show. So I've never seen them out on the prowl. But if they could be taught to land on somebody's arm, they must be pretty smart. But I don't think that they want to land on the panther. And as we learned before, panthers are tougher than we think that they are.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to go with the Panthers.
Oh my God. Okay, Panthers. She's going with the Panthers. Cat versus bird. Let's go to Bears versus the Browns. Chicago Bears versus the Cleveland Browns. Bears at Browns. Kelly?
Okay, the Bears can be tough, as we've learned that they can take on a lion, which I did not see that coming at all. And I think they can take on both a guy that's named Brown and a magical elf.
Yeah, because we don't know what the Cleveland Browns, they got two different things. The Cleveland Browns are historically, the proof is they were named after Paul Brown, the guy who founded the team and ordered the team. They were the Cleveland Browns. Okay, then he went and started another team called the Cincinnati Bengals, so they had to move on from that story, from their origin. So they created this Brownie the Magic Elf, who's kind of like a leprechaun, but he's not. And so that's who they claim their mascot is, Brownie the Magical Elf. Now, there are also brown bears. But this is not that. This is not a
But they're not going to be at this meetup.
So no, they're not there. So the question becomes a grizzly bear, which is what the Chicago Bears are. I'm a Chicago Bear fan. That question has been asked before and has been answered by the Hallis family. It's a grizzly bear. The Chicago Bear versus a magic elf. Kelly, take it.
I'm going to have to go with the bear, considering I'm not really sure. I don't even know if this elf is good at magic. Maybe he's just learning.
Right.
You know, with Harry Potter, when they first get the wands and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
just saw the first one of that just 2 weeks ago. And they weren't good at first. They had to practice.
Look, here's the thing that I know from years and years of Dungeons and Dragons play. Okay, elves are on a lower scale of. Elves are on a lower scale of magic users. Elves are not. If elves could really use magic, they'd be called wizards. But they're not. They just use stupid magic, like confusion magic. You know, like leprechaun magic.
Yeah. Plus, their cookies aren't good. I don't know. They could improve those.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to go not with the Brown. Hey, how come other football teams didn't just name themselves after the owners? Like, why isn't it the Chicago Hallisers?
Well, they were the Chicago Staleys. They were originally named after the Staley Company, who they worked for, and the owner, Robert Staley. So they were, I guess back in the very early days, they were named after the family, and that's.
Okay. It seems.
Let's see. What's the next one here? This is Bears and Browns. Let's go into the Buccaneers and their velvet blouses, and the Packers. Who do you like? Union paper Packers or effeminate sailors from the 1870s?
They can get there because of the Great Lakes. Not really sure how they get to the Great Lakes. Would that be the Mississippi River? Where's that go to?
Wait, what are we talking about?
I'm getting the Buccaneers up through the water.
Oh, okay. All right, so they got
water.
well. Okay, so yeah. They'd hit the Gulf of Mexico. They'd come up the Mississippi River, and then they would take the Mississippi River to the Des Plaines River, and then they would come out. They'd spill out into Lake Michigan, and then they'd go up into like that Bay area where Wisconsin gets all squirrely. Boom, they're there. They can totally get there.
You can't tell me they wouldn't be drunk by then.
Well, yeah.
All that travel? Come on. But then again, the Packers maybe as well. It's a heavy drinking area up there.
Wait a second. Time out here. I just had to explain that route to you. Isn't that the route your mom took when she moved her boat from Wisconsin to Florida?
Yeah, it is. But she hired somebody. So I don't know which fancy way they went.
Well, that's the only way. There's not options. That's pretty much the only way. That's the
My mom might have been drunk on that cruise as well, depending on the day.
Yeah,
We'll
possibly.
see.
All right, who you like here, Buccaneers or Packers?
Packers. I think they were used to playing better drunk. I think that the Bucks aren't used to playing while drunk.
All right, she goes with the
Packers.
All right, what's the next one here? I'm out of sorts. All right, here we go. Next game, Jets at Dolphins. Ooh, whenever a jet's in the water, that ain't good.
No, because you can't have Sully, the pilot of all 11 of those jets.
Well, something's gone horribly wrong.
Yeah.
Anytime a jet is in the water, jets don't belong in the water.
No, they don't.
It's like my grandma in the summertime back in the 70s. If she was in the water, something went wrong because her hair, man. She never yeah.
It's why I never go in pools anymore because I don't want to have to redo my hair and makeup.
Yeah.
So, all right. Okay, so the jet's going to land in the water. Maybe one would survive. I doubt it. So we're going to go with the Dolphins. Just purely because they don't even have to put up a fight. The water's
the Dolphins will help the people, but they will still have crashed.
Yes.
But the Dolphins will help them.
Yes. Right. So I'll take the Dolphins still.
All right, Dolphins over the Jets. How about the Giants taking on the Saints?
Giant taking one giant footstep to New Orleans, where the Saints are. And sometimes I go back and forth. Are the Saints tough? Or are they not tough? Are these the ones that died that was being thrown to the lions? Or are these the ones that fought in a war?
Oh, but wait. Hold on. We go biblical again. Everybody was fighting giants back in the Bible, and they all became saints. It's like, isn't this David and is it Goliath? Yeah, it's David and Goliath right here.
So I'm gonna have to go with the Saints.
Yeah, I think that's
because then he could kill all of the. Where are they playing again?
They're playing in New Orleans.
Yeah, they can kill all the giants and then pray to God for forgiveness.
Okay, I get that. Hey, did you hear about this new thing? I was reading a story today. It's the number one fetish of 2023. They did that. Like, what are people into on porn sites and all that for 2023? The number one fetish for 2023 is something called, and I've never heard of this, giantess. Giantess is a new weird sex fetish.
What? How do you even play?
Yeah, okay, I was confused too, but it's not because Kelly, these are the kids. They got a whole different way of doing the world. This isn't about like sex and nudity and graphic depictions of intercourse and all that. No, they're getting off in like different ways. These are like TikToks where they force a different perspective with the camera, and a girl talks dirty to you, but it looks like she's a giant because the camera is angled. And then there's another one where there's this girl who's really popular. She's got like millions of followers, and all she does is videos every day with a little like action figure on her shoulder, and she pretends the action figure is her boyfriend. She's like, "That's right, baby." And there are dudes like whacking it to this.
That is so weird. Right before this, I was watching the Try Guys make wedding cakes without a recipe. I don't know why. They were talking about how swallowing Barbie heads is a fetish for some people.
To poop them out?
I guess. Just, I would be afraid it would get stuck.
Yeah, I don't.
Who was the first one that did that and then told their friends, and then their friends started doing it and then telling other people? It's crazy. I don't know.
That reminds me. Do you remember Kelly and I used to work together years ago when before we worked together as show hosts?
Mhm.
Do you remember when Neil, the guy you worked for, and
Mhm.
I had a contest? It was your show against our show, and the contest was this: we both had to swallow a dime, and the first one that could poop it out and produce it
Oh my god.
won.
You know it was legitimately from the poop though.
Because they marked it. Danny marked the dime. Like somehow they etched it, and Kevin did the same thing. And we swallowed it. So they knew they were going to be able to. I won, by the way.
Well, good for you.
Oh yeah, yeah, I won.
Like
I
you have
pooped it
more
up.
fiber or something?
What's that?
Do you have more fiber to make it go through faster?
I'm just fatter, and I'm a grosser eater, so I imagine my system just moves stuff through.
Oh.
I don't know. Anyway, that's reminded me when you said people are eating doll heads. That's why I immediately went to poop them out
Yeah.
because
Because that's what I did.
that's what I did. I turned my intestinal system into a racetrack. All right, the next one, Giants Saints. We took that one. We took the Saints. Let's go with two teams that seem to play each other every week. Texans, Titans.
Yeah. The Texans have to go to Titan World, where I still don't know where that is. I guess it will Tennessee. Giant World. I mean,
Okay.
Titan World.
Stop. Titan World is Mount Olympus. It's a very real place in Greece. That's where the Titans live. That's where the Zeus and all the gods of Mount Olympus live. Hold on. Oh my God. Kelly,
What?
is Mount Olympus a real place? I don't know. I don't know if that's a real mountain. I think it is.
From school, and I forget.
I'm so stupid. God.
I would ask my kids, but they would give me the wrong answer just to mess with me. So I don't know that I could believe them. All right, do they? Are we saying then the Titans are Mount Olympus?
Yeah, that's where they live. Yeah, they're from Mount Olympus. That's where they grew up, and that's where they frolic.
Well, Tennessee and their cultural appropriation. That's so unfair.
It's mountainy. Tennessee's mountainy. They got the Blue Ridge Mountains, right?
Yes, and it is. And aren't they having a bunch of tornadoes?
Yeah.
Didn't Taylor Swift donate $1 million?
Yeah, last weekend they had a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Is Mount Olympus real? Sorry, I just got hit.
Yeah.
According to UNESCO World Heritage Center, Olympus, the highest mountain in Greece.
It is real. Okay, thank God.
All right.
But how could it not be? How could it how could it not be real? How could they be? Yeah, there used to be a mountain there. I mean, the mountain, you know what I mean? It's obviously a thing.
Is Bombay really a real city?
Yeah, I think it's Mumbai now. They just changed the name.
They just changed the name just to freshen it up a little.
Yeah. Same thing with like Constantinople. That's not a place anymore.
And yeah, Istanbul.
Mm.
I'm gonna have to go with the Titans then. We've talked them up so much.
Yeah. Texans. It's just dudes. Texans, just dudes who live in Texas. Anyone who has a Texas driver license qualifies to be a Texan. It's the mascot of.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, we're talking about the children of the gods versus a bunch of dudes, who hang out at. I don't know. Hooters. Yeah, on weekends and watch college football. I don't know. Right. All right. Moving on, there you go. Texans and Titans. How about Chiefs at Patriots? The Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs, taking on the New England Patriots.
Yeah, it feels like we've had that battle before too. Okay, so Chiefs. I think of them as older in age, and they've got all their feathers because they've accomplished so much. However, they got to that place by fighting. So I would think that the fight never really leaves them. So I think the Chiefs could take on the Patriots, but the Patriots have guns.
But it's a non-specific title. The Chief, see, this is where you get, because you have to consider the Chief has excelled among his people. He is like the best of his people. Mm-hmm. A Patriot, there were 9-year-old kids who were Minutemen. I mean, the Patriots are just anybody. It's too general.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to have to go with not the Patriots.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs. But I hope they can get their heads out of their asses because I think that they've lost 2 games in a row. However, That might be incorrect.
I don't know too. They lost last week. All right, next game. How about the 49ers? The San Francisco 49ers, bunch of people panning for gold up in the mountains, versus the Arizona Cardinal. They're either the pretty little delicate bird or in middle-aged or old Catholic priest.
Right. And I think that they're the bird. We're going to say they're the bird this week. Next week, we can go with the fact that it's, oh, yeah, next week we have to go. It's religion rated. We're about around Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to go. 40. Well, they've got pans. They can hit it. They can hit a cart. 49.
Look, come on. It's a 49er. It's a guy who's panning for gold. He's worried about bobcats and mountain lions and bears. He's got a gun. This is a bird. If he's hungry, he might just kill it for a snack.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah, this one's easy.
49ers. Come on.
I mean, again, it's a bird. It's like it's not even it's not a predator bird. It's a pretty little red bird.
It's sign for spring. It's the first sign of spring, they say.
Is that it? I thought that was a robin.
I thought it was a cardinal.
No, a red-breasted robin is the first. Google.
Oh, I don't think we have any robins here.
Hold on. We got to ask Google. Hey, Google, what bird represents spring? This bitch is telling me bluebirds. So now we've got another. Bluebirds have entered the chat.
I've never heard that before. But either way, 49ers are going to win.
The American robin. Okay, so here, in answer to the question, you know, always with Google, it always has the questions. So the question is, what bird is the symbol of spring? And it says the American red-breasted robin is considered a symbol of spring.
There we go. Okay. So then the cardinal's good for nothing. Doesn't even tell you when spring is.
Nothing at all. It's just pretty, and it looks weird because it's got a red pointy head, and it looks cool, and that's it. That is it.
So 49er could kill it because he doesn't care if it looks cool. It's not gold.
Right, exactly. Does it look delicious? That's what the bird should be worried about.
Yep.
All right. So we're going on. We're going to take the 49ers over the Cardinals. That's by the way, that's the start of the 3:00 games here on Sunday. Yeah, this is where you usually start getting real sketchy. Commanders at Rams.
Now, again, I don't know anything about these teams. I picked the Rams once because my daughter was at the game, but I can't even remember if she told me if they won or lost. So I have no idea if either of these teams are good. I have to say, Commanders information doesn't pop up on my NFL screen. So I don't know what that means, except if they're not talking about you, that's not a good thing, I think. So I'll have to go with the Rams. The Commanders.
Why?
Because their helmet's scarier.
Wait, the Rams helmet is scarier?
Yeah.
All right.
And I don't know if these Commanders have weapons or not, because sometimes Commanders do and sometimes they don't.
Well,
they're just
probably a sword. I mean, this is a goat. It's a mean goat. It's a tough goat versus again, and I apply the rule with Chiefs. This is a specific individual, a commander who may have accomplished something, or he may just be the son of somebody who accomplished something. I'm not sure. But you know what? Because of that suspicion, I guess, you know what? You're probably right. You want to go with the angry goat?
Yeah.
All right. The angry goat wins it. Kelly goes with the Rams over the Washington Commanders. What's the next? Oh, this is going to be the game of the week. This is going to be a good ass game. Cowboys traveling all the way up to Western New York, which I just think is Northern New York. You ever seen how weirdly shaped New York is?
Yeah, I have.
It's like something you think is like, that's gotta be because it's on the border of Canada. And they're like, yeah, it's southwestern New York. I go, how can that be on the border of Canada? Southwestern New York.
I don't know.
Because it like splits as a state. It like there's like tree limbs. It like goes in weird. Anyway, moving on. Here we go. Cowboys going up to Buffalo to take on the Bills.
And if you think about it, they're kind of the same guy. Because Cowboys are, tough guys on horses. They got guns. They're shooting stuff to get things. I don't know what. And then wasn't Buffalo Bill like the same?
Okay, see, this is where it gets troubling. Because you're right. Now, this is, again, specific versus general. Cowboys, it's just Cowboys in general. There are a lot of very scary Cowboys. Also, probably a lot of real disappointing Cowboys. Like guys that were cowardly and, So that's in general, Cowboys.
Mhm.
Bills are named after Buffalo Bill, a very specific character from American West.
Mhm.
He was a legit gunslinger. He's got people. He killed people. He was, he was a marshal.
I
But he
wouldn't
was,
use to kill people. Texans like to kill people too.
right, but he was also an actor. So we
Oh,
don't know how much was true and how much was just the legend of me, Buffalo
yeah.
Bill.
Can
But
I
there are
tell you about the time when I took out a whole what would it be? What platoon of folks? Sounds made up. All right, so we'll go with the Cowboys.
Cowboys. She's going with the Cowboys over the Buffalo Bills.
They can get up there. The
All right.
Cowboys can ride their horses that way.
All right, let's go Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football, we've got the Ravens taking another cat versus bird.
Mhm.
Cartoon rules apply. Ravens versus the Jaguars in Florida or where? Yeah, I think Jaguars. They got Jaguars down there in Florida. I think that's like a native animal down there.
Jacksonville, yeah.
Yeah, swamp cats and stuff like that.
And then you've got the Ravens.
Oh, isn't that a better name? Like
Yes.
they could do like swamp cats. Like wouldn't like the
Mhm.
Jacksonville swamp cats? Yeah. Well, that sounds cooler than Jaguars. Yeah.
Well, they sound tougher.
Yeah.
Because they got to live in a swamp and they're cats. Yeah, they're ready to fend for their food.
But
Yeah.
then again, it also sounds like one of them names that would be given to like a lesser league, like the USFLX. It's the Jacksonville Swamp Cats. So kind of like the Jaguars, but not exactly.
Yeah. Versus the Ravens, and they're smart birds, which means they can get there.
Well, they're devious birds.
Mhm.
They are birds that have some sort of telekinesis, some sort of ability to get inside your head and make you. That's this specific. Again, this is not a generic raven. This is an Edgar Allan Poe raven. This is the Baltimore Ravens. Edgar Allan Poe is like the number one son of that city. That's why the team was named the Ravens. So we
Mhm.
must apply the character traits of that specific raven to this raven.
But I don't know if a jaguar, if you can mess with it as much mentally, because I'm not sure how much mental capacity they have in here.
You're
Other
saying
than
they dumb? You're saying they dumb?
they're smart for where they are, because I couldn't do what they do. But
Cats are pretty smart.
yes.
Wait a second. You're giving them credit because you couldn't do what they do. Well, they couldn't drive a car either. So, I don't know if they can't do what you do. There's a lot more that you do that they couldn't do than what they do that you can't. You can do pretty much everything they can do, just slower.
Yeah. But I'm still gonna go with them.
You going with the Jaguars?
Yep.
Over the Ravens. All right, she takes the Jaguars over the Ravens. That's it's a team that bit you in the ass last week. That was one of your losses. I thought that was going to be a win, and they'd let us down. Let's move on. Monday Night Football. By the way, that was the Sunday Night Football game. Let's move on to Monday Night Football. Oh, this is so easy. This is so easy. This is like, all right, Kelly, who's going to win, Mike Tyson or Steve Buscemi? It's here you go. It's two birds. It's the Eagles and Seagulls.
Yeah. No, eagles above seagulls.
Of course.
Yes.
This is like a predator bird who's known for being tough and badass versus those things we see in the parking lot at Target.
That if they were smart, they'd stay away from eagles.
Just eating spilled. This is a breed of bird that exists on parking lot nachos. Just nachos that have spilled on the cement, and now they're just eating that.
So we're going to go with the eagles.
Eagles, of course, you got to go.
The bird symbol of our country, right? Still?
Please. Has to be. All right, that's going to do it. We're done here. That's all. You feel good about this week?
No, but I never feel good about a week. So I just don't have a lot of confidence.
I gotta be honest. I feel pretty good about this week for you. I think remember I said this. I think this is going to be a good week because I typically don't say that. But I don't know. These are good picks. These are, do we have any upsets? I don't really see any upsets.
I'm looking at my board like I would know from looking at it.
All right. We just need a solid week. We need a good, double-digit win week, and I think we got it here. All right, Kelly, wave to everybody as we say goodbye. Bye. And we end this edition of Practical Picks on the Radio Misfits podcast and live streaming platform. I'm Pugs Moran. She's Kelly Moore. Bye till next week.